Hello and welcome to the first in my ESO Creators series. So the first ESO builder slash creator that I'll be visiting today is Jack the Great. He plays on PCEU. So hello Jack.
Hello.
How long have you been playing the game for?
Well, I've been playing ESO for a good 6 years with my wife, and I've sort of really come into decorating certainly over the last since the housing uh, came out. I've been getting really into it, and this is the second house that I bought. It's the first one, and then the second one I'm planning
Ah,
on showing is the very first house I bought. And it's
ah.
just developed, and it's all developed over time as I've learned more about the furnishings and how to
So
create
you've
them and how
just
to
like
mix and match them.
you've kind of added to them as you went along.
Yes, yeah, definitely,
Um,
very much so.
And apart from housing, what else do you like to do in ESO?
Well, apart from housing, I think that I like to do sort of PVE dungeons. I've done a fair amount of PvP, but I think I've come to enjoy the PVE content more. And I think for us, the main thing is questing. We got both the wife and I. We got Tamriel hero update for the achievement, so that was
Yeah,
great fun for us.
very nice. Okay, so let's look at your first house. This is Linchal Grand Manor.
It's the one.
Yeah,
I called it the Domus Aurea after Nero's Golden House.
very nice.
Because obviously, because my background is in studying ancient history, so I figured with this house it had the potential uh, to be inspired by Imperial Rome,
No,
because
definitely.
it had a massive courtyard. So I figured make the most of it with as many furnishing slots as you can.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Just
Yeah,
from here, it looks amazing.
yeah. So I did do a video about this a little quite a long time ago now, but it's nowhere near
Yeah,
what it is. It's
I did
changed a lot
see
since
that.
then.
I'll link that video in the description as well so people can see what
Yeah.
it was like
It's
before.
what it was like before, and it has improved massively on what it was from then as well. So it's
Yeah.
always continually evolving in the primary residence, because with every new DLC comes new achievement furnishings that I really like to put in. So I do a lot of swapping out.
Mm.
Um,
So it's like been a long-term project, I guess.
yes, and I think the bit up here, I like to start where I go along the walls, because along here, obviously the walls you couldn't walk across originally, so I've connected them up so you have a really good overall view of the entire place from up here.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And you can also up here you got a really nice view of Kvatch as well.
I'm not quite
For all.
sure about your blue banners though, I have to say.
Yeah, I know. I think the reason I chose the Daggerfall Covenant, I think there's a reason, but there's a reason behind it. It's because they were more about restoring the sort of the old ways of the old empire. So at the second, this my Imperial's very much harking back to what is the second empire, so the Emperor Raymond Cyrodiil. So he's basically, sort of he sort of harks back to that era.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I do love the lore, but I don't do any RP. But I do find the lore really interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, it's really nice the view from up here. It's really nice. Oh, you've got all of the alliances over there, are they, on the wall?
Yes, they're the three shields that you get from doing all the quests in all the zones.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
so yeah, those ones were purely from doing the questing.
So you
I
did
sort
the
of used them.
questing from you did the main quests on all three alliances.
Yeah, yes, all the main quests and all the free alliances. That's the main thing that me and the wife do is the questing. And it's like the sad thing now is we've finished all the questing, so we're eager for Greymore to come out so we could do some questing again.
Yeah,
Um,
it does look really beautiful, Greymore.
it does, definitely.
This thing here, is that new? That building here with the that we can see from up here with the kind of shrine thing in it.
Yes, it certainly knew what's in it.
Yeah.
The actual that glowing pool, glowing light around it is Volendrung, which was a relatively new addition to PvP. I figured that would be the best place for it because it lights up the entire arena, even when it's really dark, really dark.
Yeah.
And also all these achievement by PvP achievement furnishings. I think that a lot of these are best placed on a wall, definitely.
This was a really cool idea to link up the two areas like this.
Yes, because they're both. Because that was another thing that sort of annoyed me a little bit about the original construction, is that you couldn't walk all the way along the walls. So I figured I'd put a walkway in where I could.
Yeah.
So you can get really good all-round views of the place.
Yeah, that was a really good idea. Because it's also annoying that you have to go all the way down and up again to get to each side.
Yes. And obviously to save slots, I did have some really detailed staircases up there at one stage, but I've steadily reduced the detail on them so I could have more detail in the house.
Yeah. Still waiting for an... Ah, you've made a stable. That's very cute.
Yes.
It looks so natural. Like, when I walked up here, I didn't even realise at first because it just looks like it's supposed to be there.
I saw this because I wanted to make a stable, and I figured the best way to do it was with the Halalu sheds. And the Halalu shed, as you know, is extremely expensive. I think I back that time ago, I think I bought this for about 200,000 gold just for the shed.
You should have just bought the house.
Yeah, well, I mean, you couldn't buy the Linchal house. You could buy a classic house for that, like the Ample Domicile or something.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there was one stage when I had more money than sense because I was in so many trader guilds, so I just went full out on this place. And I also came into some crowns with ESO Plus, so I used those to furnish, like with the wells. These are crown only.
This is
so
simple, this stable, but it just looks so nice. Like it just seems to blend in really well.
Yeah, I thought it did, because I think I did take some inspiration from one other player who was on the NA server. I think that's kind of what started this off, and he had a stable using this exact shed. So, I mean, not all I will admit, not all my ideas are original, but they are.
You've used them in an original way.
And influenced. Yes, use it, you take their idea and then someone else's idea and use it in your own unique way. And that's
because we only have so many furnishings to use as well, so people are going to use the same things for the same purpose.
So this is the guest house. So I've got all the different. It's also a bit like a barracks, I suppose, with the bunk beds.
That's cool.
So for one people can stay.
You got a little bathroom. I love the toilet. The shower's amazing. What did you use for the shower?
So
you can turn it on.
And you can turn it on and off with the Alanor fountain. So
that's amazing.
And it's got a clockwork cog for the switch.
Where's the on and off switch?
So you've got like a gizmo that you turn.
That is really cool that you can turn it on and off. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's upside down. I see now. Yeah.
And it's essentially inside a Alanor sarcophagus, which I figured was a.
I've never seen anybody doing that before. That's your own thing, isn't it?
Yes. Well, that's the thing. I think again it was an idea that came from one of our housing tours, but then I just developed on it a bit further.
This is amazing. I think this is the nicest shower I've ever seen.
And I think again these sorts of things with the sinks. I mean, lots of people I'm sure do this now, don't they? They simply put a fountain behind a counter.
But it works really well though, doesn't it?
It does work really well. Yeah, absolutely.
It's very nice. Those new troughs are going to make really nice sinks, I think.
Yes, I am really looking forward to the new troughs. We've got the Halalu stove.
You were telling me yesterday about those poles. They do look really good above the thing.
Yeah, they do. I know it's possibly a little bit narrow for a chimney stack, but I do think it's a really quick and cheap way of making a chimney. And additionally, you can also put an Argonian sensor on top of it, so you can make it look like smoke's coming out the top. Which is what I have done with a couple of buildings on the outside.
I always forget about this bear rug. It's really nice.
Yeah, the Nord bear rugs are great.
Yeah, this is really nice. Just gonna
And
have
this
a
house
few.
does very much. You'll find it's very utilitarian because it's my primary residence. You'll find all the crafting stations,
But
all the
that's always
trophies I
good
want to show
though,
off,
because
etc.,
like when
etc.
people want ideas, they want ideas to like have their house functional too. So
Yeah, absolutely.
we're gonna have, I guess, more functionality with those vampire things as well.
Oh, definitely. But I'm really wanting more walls and staircases, structures. That's what I'm really.
Definitely,
That's what
yeah.
I really want at the moment.
I think a lot of
The
people are
elsewhere ones
getting
are
a
great.
bit bored with the old ones now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And this is my again utilitarian because people like to hit the dummies for DPS, but at the same
Yeah,
time I've done it in a way that looks quite fun. So you've got like
yeah.
you've got your little executioner and your imperial tent and your dwarven brass centurion, which I crafted myself, and
Very
this
nice.
bone Goliath, which I believe we got from the DLC
Mm.
at one
We got it in one of
stage.
those pack things or something, didn't we?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was free.
something
It
like
was
that.
free, so I
Yeah.
put him in there. Also the trebuchets, which you get from getting to a good rank in PvP,
Yeah.
um, and the Kunzari coffin.
I still don't
Um,
have this coffin. I'm terrible. I need to do more questing.
yeah, I mean achievement furnishings. I hoard them. And then,
Oh,
like
your
this one here,
sundial.
the Dragon Guard grave. This one.
Your sundial.
Yeah.
I just walked past it. I remember you telling me about that ages
Oh
ago.
yeah, yeah.
This is
This was
so
meant to be
nice. Where did you
yeah
get
this was
this from? Is
now
Was this
that
while I was away that this came out?
yeah, this is from southern elsewhere. It's a Dragon
Yeah.
Guard sarcophagus.
Is it one of the achievement items?
Yes,
This could be used in so many ways, couldn't it? With that fabric on it. I love that.
that's right. Yeah, people do. They often use them as beds as well. It's been used
Yeah,
a
I
few
can
times.
imagine.
Yeah, this is really quite clever. The
Yes,
sundial.
tell us about your sundial because I found this
It
amazing.
was really random. Yeah, so
I'm going to zoom
essentially,
out.
it's just the Merkmire achievement dial, which I couldn't think of much use for in a place like this. But I essentially just put a couple of poles in. It's oriented north, and the shadow, if you know how to read sundials, is tells the time in Tamriel. So I can tell.
What time is it now?
So it's about 10 o'clock in the morning in Tamriel at the moment.
Yeah, it seems about right.
If
The
you
sun's just coming up.
Yeah, and if you look at the Tamriel, if you have a Tamriel clock add-on, which tells you the exact time, it's quite close to that. And at bang on 12 o'clock, Tamriel clock, and the shadow is directly in the middle.
That is amazing. That is so cool. Like, I don't think anybody's ever thought of anything like that before. That is,
Yeah, I think it was sort of inspired by the sort of the Romans and their sundials.
yeah. But I love that you've done that and how it actually works. Like, that's not just a housing thing. That's just like genius.
Yeah,
I love that. I just love
like
it so much.
I calibrated it, and I mean, and to be fair, this house I really haven't blocked off much. I mean, literally the only bits that I've blocked are where the bushes are.
Mm.
So this is a very
Yeah,
open house.
you've done
and
really, really well.
and
You
you
used to
have to
have,
squeeze every step.
outside, we haven't looked in your buildings yet.
Oh, we will. We shall go. We'll go into
We're
the
going
house
inside
first.
first. Okay, all right.
Yes, yes.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm following you. I was just thinking. I was worried that you'd forgotten.
Oh no, we will come out because it's all it's like an up and down sort of.
Okay. Yep.
It's all I've done before. So this is the atrium. If you know a Roman atrium, traditionally they had you walked into an area and the water would be in the middle. So it's basically meant to be that Roman atrium. And
Yeah.
also my really nice statues on plinths, which I got from doing veteran trials.
Very nice. Carry on.
Okay, so into the main house proper.
Yep.
This is the throne room,
Very nice.
and unfortunately, I'm a PvP scrub. I could not become. I am not worthy of being emperor. So, I made a imperial throne myself for all the people out there who can't be bothered getting the emperor achievement and
Okay.
don't have the time to get
Tell
emperor
us how
achievement.
you made it so that people
Yes.
can.
So essentially, it's just an Ayleid throne, a
Yeah.
couple of clockwork poles on the left and right, and the there's one thing you do have to buy with crowns though, and that's the what's the diamond medallion at the top there. And then you've got 3 of the red guard cushions and the red guard cushion roll as well. So it's all that covers up the alien bit, and then you sit on it, and you can sit on it as well. So it's
Very nice.
which is excellent.
Yeah,
So
I think it actually looks nicer. Like, I personally don't really like the look of the Emperor throne anyway. I think that looks nicer.
Yes, because Alara has one, by the way, everyone.
No, you don't need to tell people that.
And yeah, so yeah, all the trophies. I decided to put them up in a way that, because I had to put them on this wall, because the room is a bit lopsided, because you notice this wall on the right here is longer than the wall on the other side. So I figured I'd put the trophies on this side because they stick out the wall.
Yeah.
So it makes it more equidistant.
I know some people say they don't like trophies in houses, but I personally would love a house where I just put all of my trophies, because I think it's nice, because it's like one of the things, isn't it? Like, this is like my journey in ESO, and
exactly, and that's what I really like about it. And I know, certainly for the my primary house, I will always have all my trophies in it, or at least some of the latest ones, because
or the ones for your favorite.
Everyone comes to visit and likes to.
Yeah,
it's just a way of showcasing what you've done.
Yeah, it's like your story of your journey.
Indeed. So in here is the kitchen dining room.
Very nice. What is that trophy up there? I don't have that one.
Which one? The one on the left?
The one right in the middle.
In the middle.
Above the fireplace.
Ah, that one. That is off the Asylum Sanctorum.
Ah, so it's for a trial. That's why I don't have it.
Yeah, the trial. Yeah, and that's from the normal version.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a tricky one. And then I've got the precursor, which is a one that you can get from doing a quest. And he's meant to be the butler. And if you beat him up, as I do,
you like to beat your butler.
it's just funny, because when he keels over from being hit too hard, his head then hits the desk. It's just it hits the counter. I designed this house for some entertainment as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And so in here is supposed to be my treasure vault. So this is essentially just the new Akatosh doors you get from Sunspire upside down.
Oh, that's cool.
And they work rather well on the ground floor. Wouldn't work if you couldn't get it to work on the top floor, but they work well on the ground floor.
That's nice that they're upside down, because then you don't have all of the details. It's just like a door. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
This is where he hoards all his treasure.
Again, this is like really simple, with just like the bookcases, but they just look really nice.
Yes.
They work really.
And I blocked out the windows as well, because it's a vault. So I blocked out the window. So, security first.
What are these banners? I'm a noob when it comes to this lore stuff.
Now these again are the new Dragon Guard banners you get from Southern Elsewhere.
Mm.
And so I had to get the Dragon Guard stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
And also the Imperial music box, which I love.
Yeah.
Doing the Red Diamond tune.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, and in here is the living room.
Yeah.
All the different trophies.
Very cozy. I like the chimney in here. It's a pillar, is it?
Yeah, that's essentially just the long Alinor walls you get. I found them extremely useful, actually, for sort of hiding the elven features of elven walls.
Ah, so you've used the Alinor wall as the chimney.
Yes.
Oh,
the simple ones you get, and then also for the back of it, I had to get a statue base, the square one, because it wasn't the fireplace wasn't flush against the wall.
It's always annoying. It's so annoying when they don't have straight walls, because no houses really do they? There's always like a little bit of a thing sometimes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
sometimes have to get creative to make it flush.
Even their own fireplaces in some houses aren't flush.
Indeed. So yeah, so it's a library, living room, trophy room, all in one, and my Tamriel map from getting there. That's the Tamriel map. The one, this one is from exploring, doing all the exploration.
Yeah.
So I had to display that one in the house.
Yes, very nice. I know people used to, including me with that boat thing that I made, use that and put it on a table as a table map. So now we have table maps.
Yes.
Those are going to be fun to get, aren't they?
Yes,
Like
definitely.
this house is so beautiful. I love the ceiling in here.
Yes, it's very. It really does. It sort of reminds you of something you would see from like the late Roman Empire in a lot of respects.
Mm, it is a really beautiful house. I never bought this one myself, but I do think it's beautiful.
Yes, and I understand why people don't buy it, because it's got a tiny house and a massive courtyard, and a lot of people just don't know what to do with it, which is fair enough.
Yeah, it is.
um,
I think a lot could be done with it. I think the fact that it costs crowns puts people off because
yeah, it does. It's a
when
very
you're
expensive house
mm,
and limited time as well.
when you're buying a house for crowns, it has to be something that's really personal. But you love imperial stuff, so it was definitely a great thing you bought it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the second house I've bought with crowns in the game.
Mm.
And then here is the master bedroom, complete with a lot of imperial furnishings that I was able to procure.
Very nice.
And this elsewhere tapestry, that's another achievement furnishing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think that's from Southern Elsewhere as well.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And
Very
now the
nice
balcony,
cozy
because another
kitchen.
thing that wasn't great about this house is this humongous balcony. So essentially, I turned it into an ensuite.
This is amazing. Love a toilet. I love it when houses have a toilet. It's amazing.
Yeah, and this one I had to make it golden, especially because this guy is kind of obsessed with gold. Um,
Is this
but
the
then,
character who owns this house? The one that you're on now?
yes, yeah, definitely he's my
Yes.
main character.
Mm.
And he's this character is about six years old. But you got the halls of fabrication head upside down, and the
Oh,
bolt
that was
from
really nice.
the bolt, just a clockwork bolt for the back, and then the bottom of a trophy for the toilet lid.
That was a clever idea to use the trophies. I have to admit, I've never looked at the bottom of the trophies before. So, yeah, it's really
Yeah,
interesting to see. It does look like the toilet, doesn't it?
they do have the bottom of the trophies have had their uses. You'll see that in my third house.
Oh, look forward to
So
seeing
so again, same things with the running water for the bathroom, and I used the hagfen mist in here as well to make it like it's a warm sort of
it.
bathing room.
Yeah, that's a very nice touch.
And one thing I did do, because I didn't want to get rid of the amazing view from the balcony, so
I just want to say something about this. I love how you've used the red guard grill underneath the bath, so it's like being
yes,
warmed up.
yes, that was
That
actually another idea that I frankly got from someone else, but
Yeah, but the
it
way you've
just
used
worked
it,
well.
yeah, it looks very nice, especially with the Argonian thing there. I like the way you've done that. It's very nice.
Yes.
Yes.
And then through here, you've got really nice. This is because I couldn't get rid of the balconies completely.
Mm.
Uh,
Have I gone the wrong way? No, I'm here. Sorry.
yes. So essentially, so you can look over the whole thing from the balconies, and I use the Eleanor Pergolia to extend here, because one thing this house does, like especially when you've got so few slots, I had to put this pergola here because I felt it really added some much needed flowers and greenery, because it's
Yeah, and
quite
some kind of
hard.
cover as well, because like there's nothing above. If it wasn't here, it'd just be so blank when you looked
Yes,
over there. Yeah.
that's right. The table here is the Akaviri one you get, which I really liked, and the Sky Shard that you get from collecting all the Sky Shards in Tamriel.
Where do you get this table from? I don't think I've seen this.
Yeah, I believe it's another elsewhere achievement furnishing.
Mm.
I've sort of sunk it into the ground a little bit.
It's really nice. I like that a lot.
As I've sunk in the pagolia, but that's why there's a wall underneath it, so it doesn't stick out the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this here is the bartender, who a lot of my mates have proceeded to call Fred.
He looks kind of out of it to me.
Yeah, exactly. He's a very drunk bartender. And this room in here is like the smoking room.
Nice.
For puffing the magic dragon. Not quite literally.
Oh, that's cool. What is this dragon? That came from something else?
Yes, that's another achievement furnishing. It's from.
I feel like I've seen it, but
it's from Canarthy's Roof. I think it's from Canarthy's Roost.
Does it have something else attached to it usually, or is it just the dragon?
Well, he's sort of it's just a dragon head, a Mayhem.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used it, but maybe I will in future. It's really cool.
It's a really nice achievement furnishing. You get it from Canarthy's Roost, and in this case, it's just sunk into the wall.
Yeah, he's got some very nice features to him.
Because there are some amazing dragon furnishings I would have for this place, but unfortunately, they require me to do Veteran Sunspire.
Yeah.
I would have more dragons if I could. That's for sure.
Definitely.
So that concludes the tour of the gallery upstairs we've been through. So yeah, we want to go out this way now.
Okay, looking outside.
So this is the courtyard. As you know, it comes with the Linchal Grand Manor comes with this really big pool in the middle.
Those are the statues. Very nice.
And many Order of the Hour statues, and a few exclusive Crown Imperial statues, which are these ones.
Yes, how you've done walkways over the top of the pool. It's very nice.
Yes, because essentially what it is you've got these elsewhere platforms, because I loved them when they came out because they saved me so many slots again.
Yeah.
So I stuck them in and they look great. And essentially the central column, sort of inspired by Trajan's column, I suppose. And essentially it's got the base is the Vardenfell fountain, the one from.
Really? I was waiting for you to say what it was, because the colour and the material is almost exactly the same as this elsewhere, isn't it?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, they match.
And then
what fountain is it? Vardenfell fountain.
It is courtyard. It's the Tribunal Shrine in Fountain.
That's really great. They really match so well, don't they, together?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a great idea.
And essentially, I then got an Imperial fountain to cover that, to cover the base, and then the giant Imperial column to cover the central fountain.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And then at the top is the Order of the Hour statue with the lantern.
Yeah.
And these ones came with the house, so I figured I'd put them.
Did they? They came with it.
Yes, these two did.
Oh, that's nice.
So when people come in, obviously there is an archway, and then on the left here is essentially utilities. So I wanted the utilities as close to the entrance as possible. So there's nothing worse than going into a house and having to go all the way to the end to find.
Especially when you want to use it yourself as well. You want to come in and just do what you want to do, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So I've essentially made it a merchant banker cross with the prison, because I had to put the smuggler in the prison, as you do.
Yeah. I love how she's got a bed. Is that pot for her to pee in?
Yes.
Very nice.
You did have a ball of twine at one point. Um,
Oh, did she?
at one point, yeah. This is the thing. I'm forever switching items in and out of this place because it's my primary residence. It's always updating with little things.
Oh, I
Um,
love this. It is really kind of handy. You've got all of your chests and everything. It's so
yeah,
easy
that's
to get.
right. Yeah, the idea is you can access everything really quickly, and
Mm,
this I found was the most efficient way to do it. Um,
mm.
you know, so it's all the different chests that you own in the game.
Yeah, that's really good. I love that.
Another thing, so I've got the little signs out the side, and then at the top there you've got a what I say with the pole and the Argonian sensor and how it fits the top of the pole.
Ah, look, I see. Yeah, I
So it's
love
very
that. You got a little chimney up there.
yes. And another thing I updated since I last did this with the roofing of all these big buildings.
Mm.
Another thing that saved so many slots was using staircases. I never would have thought
Yeah.
of using staircases as roofing, but I've realised it's quite effective.
Yeah, that does save slots. I mean, wood would as well, but I guess wooden planks wouldn't really fit in this place.
That's right. Yeah. So sort of the idea was to have them like the Roman shops, essentially.
Mm. What did you use before as your roofs before you changed
I
to
was
stone?
just using the Alanor walls previously,
Mm.
and then when I did saw some furnishing competition, saw some people doing their furnishing, and I figured those staircases save me so many slots. I can give me so much more detail. It's worth it.
Mm.
And they actually don't look bad either.
Yeah, no, they look really, really great. Very good.
And in here, this is my smithing area. So you got all the different. So I've got the shackle breaker is what I could craft. So I've got all my tunable stations are in here.
Very nice.
Um,
This
complete
is
with
cool. This is the
blacksmiths.
This Merkmeyer thing, isn't it? This one.
Yeah, the Merkmeyer kiln,
Mm.
which you can buy, which you can get from there. You've also got alchemy stations. This really cool sort of magic-y thing for the enchanting station, and my master crafter banner, because as again, this is something that a bit of a badge of honor really, because it's really hard to get grandmaster crafter.
Yeah. This is so nice. I love this.
Again, I would go into more detail if I could, but I mean it's very utilitarian in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
Uh,
How many items have you used? Have you used all of your 700 here?
Yep, it's 700 out of 700. All the collectibles, 2 specials, and all of those. So there, this is one of my main attractions, which is my temple to the Emperor and the 8 divines.
Nice.
So you've got here the giant flags that you get from Imperial City,
Mm.
and again a roof using staircases. And it's laid out like a traditional 1st century Roman temple, basically.
Yeah.
And when the Akatosh doors came out, I thought, wow, these really suit this building.
They really do. Yeah. They look great.
So you can open the doors, and there we go.
Yeah, this looks really amazing.
Yeah. And again, the Emperor is a crown-only thing, sadly, but it really, really suited this building. It wouldn't be the same without him.
No, definitely. It's so like as soon as you walk in here, it's like wow.
Yeah, I like to say that he's the Emperor Raymond, which is the Raymond Cyrodiil. He was basically sort of a prequel to Tiber Septim in that he conquered the vast majority of Tamriel. I think the only thing he did conquer was Vardenfell. So he didn't quite reach the godhood that you see later on. But yeah, you've got all the 8 divines here. So you've got Akatosh in the middle, of course, god of time.
Mm.
And then you've got all the other little ones like Arche, Zedithar, Kinnereth, Julianos, Mara, and Stendar. Hey! Get me?
Very nice.
I remember them all. and then you go, and of course the sacrificial goat, because you got to have a sacrificial
Oh,
goat.
poor little
It
goat.
even says that this. Well, the Cyrodiil. Well, I know people say, "Oh no, it's barbaric animal
Oh,
sacrifice," but on the actual description of the Cyrodiilic goat, he says he's used in specifically in rituals. Yeah.
well, I would say it was mean. But I'm a vegetarian and I sacrifice the goat all the time, so
uh,
I'm a terrible human being.
yes, and then in here, this is my Odeon.
Oh, I
Um,
think this is new, isn't it? I don't think I've seen this.
well, it may have.
I
think
don't
it's
think I've
had a
seen your
few-
shrine either, actually.
It's had a few tweaks, I think, since you maybe last saw it. Because again, I've been trying to squeeze every slot. Is what I like to call it. And essentially, it's an Odeon, so it's for doing speeches about philosophy and all that sort of stuff.
Ah, that's nice. I like that.
I think it was a nice use of the Imperial Altar of the Bay.
Kind of like a lecture hall.
Yeah, it's an Odeon. Yeah. And essentially it's just using staircases and Alinor walls again.
Yeah,
I know people. I know the Alinor walls are. I know they're so generic, but they are the best walls for Imperials.
No, they definitely work really well here. Really well. I still can't get over this. Like how this looks so good against these floors. It looks so good.
Yeah.
I love that.
It took a lot of adjustment, but to be fair, I think it works really well for the centre. I had to have. I figured no Roman forum is complete without a giant column in the middle of it, or an obelisk, or some obelisks and things like that. And this is the final part of the house, and this is the arena. Oop.
Yeah, that's really very cool.
And obviously, because it is my primary house, this was designed purely for entertainment mainly. We'd have dueling competitions and all that sort of thing in this place. I also got the Alenhir Arena Lion, which was an incredible. It's one of the PvP pet achievements, and it was extremely expensive. Something like. I think I spent 500,000 gold just on that one pet. But yeah, so and they're chained up. He's chained up with the hourglass chains, which you get from Kvatch.
Yeah, that's very cool. He does look very skinny. He needs to eat some people.
Yeah, he does. He's hungry. And then there's this one. Who's the other tiger as well. So it's sort of like like the traditional sort of Roman throne to the lion sort of thing.
Yeah, this is so cool. I love this. There's so much detail to the whole house. I love it.
Yeah, and the middle bit, the Volundran replica, I figured because at night this lights up absolutely everything.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And this was the main reason I wanted this hammer, is because I realised exactly how much light it creates, because it lights this arena up a treat.
Yeah.
I know there's not many people think of uses for the hammer, but I figured in this context it was really good. And the floor sand was basically, again, it was crown only, but the floor sand is essentially those big sandy boulders you get, which are weathered desert boulders. So that makes the sand in the arena that wasn't here before.
Yeah, that looks really cool actually. I do love the sand. Because it does look just like sand, doesn't it?
Yes, that was it's the closest thing you can get to sand is that. At the moment. I don't know, maybe that might change in the future.
Where did you get this chained skull of the fire drakes? Yeah, I see.
Yes,
it's an achievement item from Battlegrounds. I've never even looked at those. I'm terrible. Because I do them all the time, but I never look at the achievements.
I'm basically the main reason I do any questing on this game is the prospect of buying the achievement furnishings. It's crazy. Then you've got the other things you get, like monthly bells, fur thrones. A lot
Yeah,
of
they're
these are
so
achievement
pretty. These
furnishings.
are. I love these. They're really pretty. Bells.
And you've also got the here the fan. I had to have the fan of full fast in here so that my friends can literally monkey around the arena.
Yeah. Yeah, that is cool. I love that.
You know,
You have to be a
it's a place for entertainment. That was always the plan.
Yeah, I love it. It's very cool. So is that all of your first house?
Very nearly.
We've still
'Cause
got a little
essentially-
bit to see. Right
Yeah,
there.
you've still got little bits more of the arena. So essentially, we've got just some more seating up in these sort of alcoves. Because the thing is, one of the things I wanted to get right in this place was symmetry. Because certainly in the Roman era and certainly into the 18th century, symmetry was a really big thing for Roman art and architecture. So having everything as central and symmetrical as possible was part of the design plans.
Yeah, it's very nice. I love that.
And on this side is my podium, so I use this for marking competitions.
Very nice.
I like to joke and say that the shields are ordered in my most and least favourite alliances. Though actually, I tend to say it's just whoever wins is the one who gets whatever their alliance is.
Well, yellow is the best.
Yeah, I've got them as third on here, as default. And the war horns as well. You get their achievement furnishings, undaunted achievement furnishings. There's a few of those around.
Very nice.
And yes, that concludes our tour of the first house, which I hope wasn't too long.
I have to just say one thing. I love how you use the clockwork things again for the fence.
Yes.
That looks very cool. I like that.
Clockwork fencing is very good for banisters. Those pieces, I think.
Yeah,
and then the elsewhere gates as well, which I really like too.
Yeah, they're very nice. Okay, do you want to move on to your second house?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I think that it's a really big place by primary residence. I mean, you really have to squeeze every slot.
I can imagine. Like, you've built it so well, though. Like, nowhere looks empty. It looks really good.
Except for that grave statue, I'm going to have to take that out now. I have one slot left.
Yes, you've got a new slot. That's cool.
That's amazing. I'm going to have to use it for something later. Right. So let's go to my second house, which is one I entered for one of your competitions.
Was it? Which
one? I came third in it at the time. It was for the holiday resort. That's the one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
And this was my very first house I ever bought in the game, and it's I think I very much restored it to its former glory in a lot of ways.
Okay.
And when Elsewhere came out, I went really mad with all the all the new wood furniture, all the wood walls and platforms and things. Okay, yes. So this is my second house, which is my Hunding's Pirate Resort. Is what I called it. So you got your Ansai statues, and also this is for one I chose this as my very first house because it's really great. You know, you get as a classic home, it has over 600 slots with ESO Plus, and it was for me it was the best house at the time because I know there was a really nice Imperial house called the Strident Springs. It was a toss up between this one and Strident Springs, and I chose this one because
I personally like those two best as well.
Yeah, it was a toss up between those two, and I chose this one mainly because there's so at the time there was and to be fair, even to this day, there is so many more Red Guard furnishings. And and also the fact that Hunding's Hall is by the sea, which is really nice.
Yeah, the water's great. Did you add bases to these?
Yes, these are at the bottom. These are the Yokudan puzzle statue bases. That's what they're called. Yeah, Yokudan puzzle columns. That's what they are.
Yeah, they're nice. They're from Craglon, are they?
Uh, I think they are. Yes, from Craglon.
Yeah, they look really good on these statues. They definitely change the way they look a lot.
Yes. Yeah,
Mm.
these are from Craglon. And then I've got my little smuggler and I've positioned the camel so like when you walk in, he literally just spits in your face. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then this in the middle is the really nice Hughes. This is the one you get from Hughes Bane for the well.
Mm.
And I've sort of was quite clever with this one because I kind of want it to be like secret. So I had walls put on either side and the outside, and then a gate for the front. So if I close this gate and I can literally lock people completely out of this house, which is quite handy sometimes. Because with my old guild, because I used to run a guild from here, and they always used to come into here and always turn off all the lights. So it was sort of inspired by that really. But I think it's now we can actually, because that was in the days before you could stop people turning your lights off in your house.
Yeah. I do like the statue on the balcony out here as well.
Yes, that's another one of the Ansai statues as well. You've made a really nice centerpiece for it as well.
Yeah, he looks great.
And yes, this is the Ragardar throne. This was, I believe, this was a luxury vendor item at one stage.
Yeah.
And it really suits the house very well.
Yeah, it's really nice. The details on it are great.
And I added I know they're crown only again, but behind them are the Red Guard shutters, and I think they work really well because of how they reflect the light.
They do. They look beautiful there. I love those.
And in the middle here, you got your Red Guard fire pit, and and the chandeliers. Because I know one of the things that you've often mentioned is the problem with chandeliers not being long enough. Which is a problem for a lot of furnishers. They're never long enough. So, if in doubt, I attach chandeliers to chandeliers.
Yeah, that looks really good.
And also, you can use the Order of the Hour glass chains as well to extend the chain that you put them on. And one of the things I know, it's really hard to get the positioning right. So, when I am building, it's another tactic that I use. I actually use the wooden platform, just as normal wooden planks to effectively make scaffolding. I did the same thing in my Linchal Grand Manor, so I could get things positioned in the right place. I had to literally build scaffolding as I was building it, just like you would a real house in a lot of respects.
Yeah,
just so you could go up and position it.
That's going to be a really great thing with the new tool that we get on PTS, because you can now click on an item and walk around it whilst you're moving it.
Yes.
So
that's a nice new feature. And this was supposed to be the treasure hoard. So this was supposed to be a pirate resort. So here is basically where they hoard all the gold. So pirates will come here, spend their ill-gotten gains on things in the house. So they'd all be having meetings, chilling out.
I do love this fireplace.
Yes. Again, it's using the Yokudan puzzle columns.
Yeah.
So yes, it's like a crafting area, exchange area, and then here's basically a library, complete with like maps and die stations and things. This is essentially laid out. This hasn't really changed much in layout, since I first furnished this place. The Red Guard runners are. The Red Guard furnishings are still my favorite.
Yeah, from the originals, they're my favorite. 100%.
And these are the Gold Coast kegs, which I love. These, they're a really good. They are expensive, but they're a really good way of filling up space.
Yeah, they are really cool.
And the provisioning station still works, even though it's enclosed as
yeah,
well.
that's very cool.
And here is the dining area. So where all the
Yeah,
pirates would come and dine.
very nice.
And then upstairs, it's just and up here it's just some very generic sort of, bedrooms, baths. Again, I still do the strategy of the simple clockwork pipes in top of the stoves.
Yeah, I've noticed you've done that.
Because I don't like the fact that they have. It'd be nice if they had some connecting pipes for that.
Yeah, I agreed. Like, we need some more
'Cause-
pipes. I'm always wanting pipes as
Because
well.
to me, it just looks so kind of it's kind of unrealistic. I think because you have this fire going and then no smoke coming out the top.
Yeah,
It's-
we need more pipe work. 100%. It's really
Yeah.
important that we get that at some point because it is really frustrating.
I think through here you have a nice view of the courtyard, with the Ansei statue. It's a really nice achievement furnishing. That I think you get that from questing in the Alkir.
Yeah, that does look great, especially from outside. It's just like, yeah, he definitely makes an impression, this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I like having centerpieces, definitely. And here is basically where all the pirates would sleep, when they come to stay.
Very nice.
There's all
They get some very large beds.
yes, and there's not much to see on the balconies. I think there's nothing on these balconies, because you'll find out why I've used so few slots and why the house is quite well. It's Spartan compared to a lot of others, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Because you it's had a few improvements, I think, since you last saw. But yeah, because you got the pirate banners, which you could get there in achievement furnishing from Betnik, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
And then you've got I essentially used the elsewhere stairs to connect it, because this is one of the other frustrating things about this place. There was no way of going back into the house without
you
going
fall
all
off
the way
of
around
here
the
and
front.
you have to run all the way around.
Yeah, so I made that, and then you got and I made a diving board so again it's emphasizing that it's like a holiday house.
So also when you come on here, you get to see your amazing boat.
Yes,
Great
exactly.
view.
So this boat, yes, it took a lot of work. I did make a boat before using the old wood planks, but it looks nowhere near as good as what this one does.
Yeah, this is a really nice.
And so you'll find certainly around, sort of on the beach, and up. So essentially, you'll find random skeletons. These are supposed to be, because what you'll notice, because this is what I was trying to sort of be clever for the housing competition, was it says that this house used to belong to a pirate called Captain Izzard,
Okay.
a very rich pirate. So I think the idea is the people serving here at the resort are essentially his cursed crew.
Okay, yeah, that's a cool idea though. It's nice that you have like a little story.
Yeah, the backstory was sort of like your soul is at risk if you don't keep up gold payments, or something like that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And up here, again, I've got another skeleton, basically just offering towels for this.
Oh, for the nice pool.
Yes. but again, I've sort of had to squeeze every slot as you do.
I can imagine. I can't believe you've decorated that house and you also have the boat as well. Like, that's impressive that you've managed to do both.
And I made this sort of archway here. I loved this. This is another. I think this was another.
Yeah, it was
vendor.
Yeah, this was from the luxury guy. I had one. I gave mine away.
So you got the gazebo here for for like weddings and things is what I was thinking. So they do. I imagine they do pirate wedding venues.
Yeah.
Um, and there is the lighthouse here too, which gives you a fantastic. And oh yeah, you got stocks over there as well for any pirates who misbehave.
Uh,
And of course this is where when this is where pirates come and torture their enemies. Just
very
for
nice.
because they're on holiday.
Yeah, you've got to do
Stretching
some
Rex,
torture.
Iron Maiden, basic things. And again, I love the lighthouse. I use the clockwork illuminators, and I think this really made I've got two of them, and it makes it really really bright.
Those clockwork, all of the clockwork, even the candles, give off so much light, don't they?
They do, and you also get a really nice view of all the beach and the house and everything from there.
And the awesome boat, I love it.
Yes. I think most of the detail and the slots went on the boat. Definitely.
Yeah, can
Though
imagine.
nowhere near, though funnily enough, nowhere near as many as it was before the Elsewhere furnishings came out.
Yeah, they were great furnishings, though, weren't they, for building?
Yes, definitely.
I think we will get some more furnishings for this chapter, structure-wise. I think we'll just have to wait until the next part for them.
Yes.
I know a lot of people are obsessed about it, but I'm kind of happy to wait. I don't care, really.
Well, indeed. Yeah, just gotta make the most of what you got for the time being.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to wait for that.
So yeah, so they're doing fishing. So this is the pirate ship.
This is amazing, Jack. This is so cool. I literally love it. I think this is my favourite boat I've ever visited, ever. Oh shit.
Yes, it's got all. So there's, I think the thing that sort of inspired me to do the boat was the achievement furnishing. For the anchor and
Yeah.
the buoys and things like that.
I'm actually glad I fell off of your boat because I'm swimming around it and I can see all of these.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the achievement siege weapons, aren't they?
That's right. Yes, I used my Daggerfall Covenant siege weapon because obviously they didn't have cannons, but I thought, okay, they don't have cannons, but they do have ballistas, so I'd use those instead. So it's in keeping.
Looks so nice. I love it. It looks just like a boat. It looks just like a boat you'd be on in the game.
Yes, that was definitely the intent. And the front here, you've got the shadow statue, which I used as the figurehead for the boat.
Whereabouts are you right now?
Right at the front.
I'm at the back, aren't I?
Yeah, right at the front, you'll see there's a big shadow statue.
Oh yeah, wait there. Let me zoom out so I can have a good look. Okay, I'll just fall off. That's fine. Yeah, that looks really good. I love that on the front. It looks like sea monsters have kind of started taking it over or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Well, that's the
great.
thing. I mean, traditionally, lots of like those sorts of old boats did have figureheads at the front.
Yeah, that looks really good there. Love that.
And I like how the anchor now is proportioned to the boat, which it wasn't before.
Yeah, but yeah, these siege weapons look just so good sticking out at the side like that. I've never seen anybody who made a boat think about something like that.
Yeah, and I use the Nord shells for the bottom and the top, so it looks like just like in with cannons, you open them up and you push and you can push the siege weapons out of it, so it actually looks like it's got actual flaps that you close on the sides of the ship.
Yeah, that looks really good. I love that.
And the rigging, which is all you can climb all the rigging, which is cool.
All of this as well, like on the ground where you've got like the little bits here, like where it changes, and you can tell there's like supposed to be a trapdoor there. That looks just so good. Love that.
And these are the tops of the cages that are below deck.
Okay.
I also put a siege weapon at the top and and the circular Merkmire thing, and just as it's essentially just a so it can turn around and fire,
Mm.
just like the some of the old Roman triremes, where they have a catapult at the front.
I've just noticed this Merkmire thing is the same as the one you have to activate in
In Basatoon, yes,
Malzatine. Yeah.
it's the same one, yeah.
Yeah.
And essentially, I made these. These ladders are basically just made out of the lids
Mm.
for the crates, and they do make really good ladders. They use a lot of slots,
Yeah.
but they make really good looking ladders.
Yeah, that
Um,
looks really good.
and I had to use the Daedric throne as the captain's sort of chair on deck. And I
Yeah.
got on and the achievement steering wheel with the gold, well, with the auger as the.
I'll give a little. I'll give a little teaser, but my next contest is going to be to do with Daedric thrones.
Oh, okay, that could be interesting. Oh, okay, I'm really curious now.
Oh shit! I'm falling off.
And yeah, a good thing is you can climb the rig and up here in the crow's nest. That's it. And you see we've
Yes.
got the black flags. These ones you get, if I recall correctly, it's from one of the.
Oh, I've never seen those.
Yeah, the black flags are ones you get from. It's from the Ordinary Dominion
Really?
side of the map. Yes, it's called the Evermore Morning Banner. So it's from Evermore.
Ah, see, I must have that unlocked. I've just never looked at it and thought I need that. So yeah, that that's amazing.
And you got the telescope up here as well. So
It's funny how so many of these achievement items you have unlocked and just don't think about ever using.
yeah, I really like the achievement furnishings. I think
Mm.
I like displaying them is fun.
Mm.
And the flags are essentially just the cheap tarps that you get.
Yeah,
And it's
because I
and some
didn't
of the
even know we
ropes.
had I didn't even know we had a black flag as an
Yeah,
achievement finishing. So I'm a terrible person. Yeah, I didn't know.
yeah, and then you've also got the buckets which make up the ropes. The what do they call them?
Do you know
Um,
what? These could work as something too, couldn't they? If you look at these siege weapons, all of the little parts they've got on them, they've got ropes, they've got turn wheels. You could like
yeah,
sink these into anything, couldn't you?
you could. Yes, definitely. Okay, so that's the upper deck,
Okay.
complete with and you could and I think these ladders were the Argonian ones you get as well. It's like with the wind chimes, it's another Argonian thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, this is brilliant. That rope you've used up at the top, what have you used for that?
Well, the rope is a bucket. The bucket you get.
Okay.
Let me just check what it is. I've
The
got it here.
cistern bucket.
Yes, that's right. It's a cistern bucket where it's hidden in the
Mm.
orcish
Yeah,
platform
that's
bits.
very
So
cool.
it
Yeah, I
so it
like
creates the rope.
that. Yeah, that's great. Should we go below deck and see what's down there?
Yeah, let's go below deck. So again, we've got a little door, and this is the captain's cabin. This bit, which is the really fancy bit with the really nice bed and things like that.
Yeah. Oh, this is like the new thing we get, just a bit less shiny, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, that's another Clockwork City achievement furnishing, that one.
Mm.
And then down, and then we've also got the ballistas for the rear of the ship too.
Yeah, they're really cool.
And this is below deck. So she's using good old-fashioned common lanterns, cages for keeping prisoners, bunk
This is-
beds for the crew.
I don't know if you've played Divinity, have you?
Don't think I have, no.
This looks to me like the below deck in Divinity. It
Excellent.
looks like that a lot. Like it's got the cages in the middle.
Yeah.
It looks really cool. I love it.
And
It's
this
so,
one here
it's
is
very
basically
simple.
treasure.
I know you probably run out of item slots, but it doesn't even matter because it's just like really impressive, like the shape of it and everything. To know
Yeah,
that you built it yourself, it just looks brilliant.
yeah. I will admit. I think the small details. I'm very much into my structures on this game. I
Mm.
think. I think with the little details and nature. I think nature is the thing I struggle with the most because it's not
Mm.
ordered like the human stuff.
Mm.
um, but yeah, that's what we've got.
Yeah, it looks brilliant. I really love it.
So
I
yeah, I
love the
think we're.
way that you've done your sails. How many of those things did you use?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12, 16. I think I must have used at least about 30, I reckon.
It
30.
looks brilliant though. The sails just look really good.
And it's very piratey as well because it's quite patchy. So,
Like,
it's like the sails have seen a bit of damage.
yeah. It must have taken ages to line them up.
Oh yeah, it did.
Mm. So,
Yeah, lining them up.
where did you get the idea to build a pirate ship?
Actually, that's a really good question. I think originally, my original pirate ship, the idea came from when these boat achievement furnishings came out,
Mm.
and I was looking to have a break from the game, um, because I'd been playing it too much, as we're all guilty of.
Mm.
And so I was going to go for a break, and I wanted to make a boat, um, and and basically have it like that I was sailing off, you
Yeah.
know, uh, which is quite nice. It still came back after a few months, but that's the trouble. I always find myself coming back to this game.
Yeah, me too.
So I took a and Emily did the same. So so we both took a break at the same time. Um, so we used the ship to sort of wave goodbye to everyone and send screenshots
Aw.
on the old ship, which is nothing like this one. Um,
It's very nice. And how many items do you have left? Have you used 700 in here, do you?
yeah, I've used 600 out of 600.
Yeah.
All 40 collectibles. It's maxed everything, just like my primary residence.
It's kind of strange, I feel, that these houses aren't 700.
Yeah,
Because
it is
they are as
peculiar.
big as some of the 700 ones.
Yeah, they are indeed.
Yeah. And
And now on to my yeah.
how long did it take you to build this boat?
I didn't count the hours, but a long time.
Yeah.
It did take me a long time, and it did take a lot of saving from the material, farming for the materials, etc.
Yeah.
But I suppose there was a time when I was in about 3 or 4 different trader guilds, so I had more money than sense at the time.
Yeah.
Now I'm dependent on daily crafting, so my gold income is not what it was.
Mm.
But still good. So do you want me to go on to the third and final house?
Yes, let's go to your lost house.
Because while the first 2 houses are very traditional, lore-based Elder Scrolls, this one is very different.
Yeah.
This one is not in keeping with the lore, but nevertheless, it's a really cool build.
Yes.
I sort of get essentially it was based on. I wanted to base it on turn the gardener house into a sort of a Victorian type factory, because again, when the Elsewhere furnishings came out, I noticed the big floors you get are all red brick. So red brick, just like the old sort of an 18th, 19th century Victorian buildings.
Definitely.
So yeah, I'm in the house now.
Okay. And traveling to now. So, do you want to say before I get there, whilst on the loading screen, what made you decide to buy Gardener House?
Well, I think the actual reason I bought it was not for the reason of furnishing it, but it was actually more a utilitarian reason. I wanted it to be able to get into Wayrest and get to Rollis really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
that's
he's literally
brilliant.
just out the front, and for all the crafting writs. It was
Mm.
basically going to be a crafting house, just like the snug pod, in that it's very close to the centre of Elderroot. This is the one that's centre to Wayrest.
Mm.
So I saved up the million gold. Took about a week. It only took me about a week to save that at the time.
Yeah.
And then I bought it.
Okay, I'm here. Do you want to give me the tour?
Yes, indeed. I think we'll start from the door. I think it's probably the
Okay.
best thing. But we won't go
The
outside
back, the
yet.
back door.
Yeah, but we'll leave. Shall we leave the best till last? I think we will.
Okay.
So you'll realise that this is essentially a factory. So the goods come in, and as you can see, it's black stone with what I've used is the little bits of the old gold achievement the gold trophies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is it comes in as raw gold material,
Yeah.
and then it all gets dumped in the middle here. So as you can see, it's like
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. And then I've designed essentially it's like a factory process. So you've got these little bits of ore, which are essentially again from the Master Harvester achievement,
Yeah.
that can go into this kiln basically, which is a little bit wonky, I noticed.
Fine.
And yeah, and then you go and then it heats it up, and then it out comes and out with all these different machines and fangled things, and then it comes out the conveyor belt as gold, and then
Yes,
it
very
and
nice.
then it comes through here, and then the gold is then hammered and processed into making making the trophies basically.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
And then it goes into these little boxes and then out the back.
And the
And then into
jewellery
this box here.
station there, you can make jewellery out of it. Very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's brilliant.
So the idea is, it's a process, a factory.
Mm.
So basically, I've been trying to bring the Industrial Revolution to Tamriel.
What gave you the idea to turn it into this?
I think it was because of what's outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think
you did
I
that
wanted
first?
I wanted it to have what I did outside I did first. This is what came second. So I have
Yeah.
So I made these sort of Victorian style sort of sash windows
Yeah,
using
these windows are brilliant.
yeah, these were just using the dark elf bookshelves on the golden the clockwork plates. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, up here is a secondary factory process. So it's goods come in, and it's like fabric, and it all gets processed. So you've got here your spinning wheels and your looms and your clothing stations and dye stations, and up here is all the different clothes that have been all the cloth that's been processed.
I love all of the washing lines. They look great, and the fan
Yeah, I
as
figured-
well. Is that like drying them all?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it's got a drying fan as well. All there's lots of folding of cloth, etc.
Yeah, it looks brilliant.
It's a bit. So essentially, it's a factory.
Yes.
And I made
Brilliant.
and I got a gramophone here as well. This was
Yeah, that looks so cool.
with the working music box as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I can see it turning. That is so cool. Love that.
So here is like
That's a brilliant idea.
this is like the canteen, and in here is the toilet. Similar sort of
let's
construction
see
as
the
before.
toilet. Very nice. It's slightly different. You've got a different lid this time, haven't you? Or is it the same?
Yeah, it's different top. I just used
it's the
white
top
stone.
that's different. Yeah, it does look really different. Oh, that's very cool.
And then in here is supposed to be the boardroom. And so again, this was something I sort of recommended for one of your houses as a good idea, or many houses as a good idea. For large doors, it's just the paintings back to back, and for the door handles is the clockwork cups, which work really well for door handles, I noticed.
Yeah, I might nick that idea of the paintings for mine.
Yes, it's a very good idea.
I do need some doors.
And in here is the boardroom, which is a simple, where all the staff would meet. All the staff of the factory, complete with stove, paperwork, etc.
Yeah, this looks really cool. I love how you change the wall textures to the brick.
Yes,
And even the ceilings and everything.
that's right. Yeah, so I essentially I wanted to have sort of white ceilings and red brick. So because there's obviously the original Wayris house is not red brick, but this I've turned into red brick, like a Victorian factory.
It really looks like that. It's brilliant.
And the very large windows as well, and all of these correspond to the windows outside the building as well. And you also got the little switch here for the conveyor belt.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I
love this. I love this so much, this house. I love even like the tarp you've put on the ceiling. Just looks great up there.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was basically what the idea was.
It makes it look a bit kind of shabbier and like, yeah, this is a factory.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's no carpets on these floors except for in the boardroom,
Yeah. There's no fancy place.
There's no fancy things. And then out here is where how the builds originally started and why I got the idea for the factory. Because I wanted to give it a purpose. So from the outside, you see again the windows correspond to what's inside the house as well.
Yeah, I love how you've done it outside too. That's really cool.
So you got the really big crates. This is the train.
This is just amazing. I love this. I've seen so many people build trains, but this is like the most realistic looking train I've seen.
Yeah, it was. Again, it was sort
huge.
of. Yeah, I could run you through what it's made of, but it's quite elaborate. So the idea, it was sort of inspired a little bit by like those old sort of Hornby train sets you get. Because you got the tunnel with the all the green stuff on it.
Yeah, I love this tunnel, like how it's just like looks like it's going into darkness.
Yeah, that's why you found the use for the back of the Argonian thing for it. I know.
What did you use for that? The back of it, the back of the
yes,
Argonian. What is it?
Yes, the back of the Argonian dial or thing.
Oh, the thing you use as the clock.
The replica of the Zin thing. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. From Merkmeyer, is that?
From Merkmeyer, yeah. So I used the back. So that's what makes it look like it's a completely dark. The idea was to make it look like it was a dark tunnel. And the railway track essentially made of sunken crates that go into the floor, and again quite a lot of clockwork pieces.
Yeah, but that's a cool idea because it would be metal at the edge and then wood in the middle, say.
Yes, and it almost looks like it's slightly on a bend as well, which I thought was quite peculiar. So I essentially made the so I started with the tracks. So I made the track, and then I made the carriages was the next. So I sort of build them from the ground up. So I started with the.
Look at this little steering room. That is so cute. With the little fire down there. What did you use for that? Is that a Daedric thing?
It's actually it's an upside down Aeliad sconce, I think.
Ah, this is so cute. You actually feel like you're about to drive a train when you're in here.
Yeah, it's an upside down Aeliad brazier. That's what it is.
Yeah, that is so nice. I love that.
And it's used as so many different things. This engine, I don't know where to start. Maybe we start from the front. So what you've got for the front of the engine is essentially a halalu stove, and in the top of the on the top of the stove is to make the steam come out the top is a it's another one of the Argonian sensors. I've got for the buffers at the front, it's just simple common plates. The base is made of the clockwork, again more of the clockwork pieces.
Yeah.
Then you've got the boiler, which is actually it's one of the boilers that you can get. And then there's another piece which makes the levers, called the clockwork Samolo station. That's the one.
Yeah.
And so you see that was sunk into it, so it looks like you've got two levers down at the bottom here. And then you've got, as well, for the what would be like the other rear part is an upside down red guard sensor bell.
Yeah,
So
I was just looking at that. That is very cool.
And then you've got for the frame of this part is it's just the simple. There's two of the signposts, common posts,
Yeah.
which make that part. And at the back, you've got the clockwork wardrobes.
Yeah, they look good
to make
there.
the back of the engine.
Very nice.
And then you've got the switches, which are made of the dwarven valves, etc. And the rail tracks, they were just made out of simple flag poles for the raily bits on the wheels of the train.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
what
the
about
carriages.
the carriages are
Yep.
made out of? Are the carriages made out of the clockwork platforms, aren't they?
That's right, yeah. So at the base, these are essentially put together the high elf wagons. So the wagons, so you got the bottom. So it's how I started with it originally. So I started with the wagons, were the first things that I realised could be made on top of the track. So I started with the wagons, and then I built the carriages, and used the clockwork tables to make up the small parts between the carriages.
Yeah.
And then I've got the black stone that you get from Morrowind, from Varnfell, and stuck that in there, along with bits and pieces of trophies, so it looks like it's been mined gold.
Yeah, that's really
So,
cool.
yeah,
And I like
it's
this
very
as well,
elaborate.
this thing here, the like claw.
Yes, the crane. I designed this crane out of the clockwork tonal arches. I wanted to make it so that it could be something you could see how it could get off the train station and into the factory. So you've got the really big crates, and here, and the idea was if you use this control panel that's on this wall here, it would essentially move the
crane over. Yeah.
move the crane.
Yeah, it looks absolutely brilliant. I love this train.
So the crane fills up the boxes, and then it's wheeled into the factory, and that's how it gets its all of its resources.
Yeah, it is brilliant.
And I think it was one thing that Waywest was lacking, was some sort of industrial factory.
I have to say, Wayrest, the garden in Wayrest, I don't really see people doing anything with it because everyone's always saying, oh, it's too small. I will rather buy like Rivenspire because the garden in Wayrest is too tiny, but you've built a whole train station here, so
Yeah.
it's just amazing. I love it.
When there's a will, there's a way. And these fantastic things, these are the best space savers ever invented in ESO, which are the elsewhere platforms.
I used to have loads of them, but I gave them all away. But I'm gonna make some more.
They are amazing. They are the best thing for furnishing. And of course, all the bushes. I've sort of done this to sort of hide the walls.
Yeah, they look cool.
And I've also got there's a shabby house here, so I just put a bat next to it. One of the bats.
Where's that?
Just a little, just a bat that I decided to put next to the scabby house here that I put a bush over.
What's Scabby House?
This one here on this side.
I don't see where you are. Oh, over there. Oh, right. Yeah, I see what you mean. That house is really decrepit, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. It's
What's
just
going
yeah.
on with that? That's
Yeah.
pretty bad, yeah.
And of course, I blocked up the stables and things here, and and I also blocked up the basement. So in order to create this train, I did have to sacrifice quite a lot of the house.
Oh, it's completely worth it, though. This train would be amazing just on its own, I think.
Yeah.
But then the
exactly.
factory just makes it even better, definitely.
Yes. So yes, it's not exactly law friendly, but sometimes
you don't
when
have
you've got
to
so
always
many houses,
be law friendly.
Exactly.
It doesn't.
That's what I thought. But yeah, it's one of my certainly one of my favorite houses.
Yeah, this is brilliant.
But I hope that concludes, because I've got also this has done all 3 of my complete best houses. And I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for showing them to us.
No worries. And I've got well, I could have another 3 on the go, but none of them are complete. That's the trouble. I sort of go. I flitter from house to house at the moment. I need to.
I'll visit you again when you've got more houses.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do them in 3s, because 3 is the magic number.
Yes, 3's good. Okay.
And hopefully it sparks some interest and sparks some inspiration for houses.
I'm sure it will do. They're all absolutely brilliant. But thank you very much.
There is. All good. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you ever so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. And if you are interested in being featured as the next ESO creator on my channel, then you can contact me via email or by Discord. I will link my email address below in case anybody wants to get in contact. I'm also still filming houses along with music for people that would prefer to do that, who don't want to come on voice or just have one house in particular that you wish to show. I am recording one next week for that. I'm thinking of perhaps alternating the 2, depending on how many people wish to do what. We'll just play it by ear for now and see how it goes. So yeah, thank you again, and I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.